My thoughts on the to-be-released Analogue Pocket versus the already-out RetroFlag GPI case. Let's start out by stating that both of these systems I would love to have in my collection. I am just stating personal opinion which can change at any point. If you feel you'd like to agree or even disagree or maybe have additional thoughts or arguments, light up the comment section. One obvious comparison is that I already have in my possession the GPI case, and I have only seen renders of the Pocket. I don't have any reason not to believe Analogue will release the Pocket, as they have released other announced products and they have been incredibly well built. Because of this, I have no reason to believe the quality of the Pocket will be any less. That is something I am looking forward to having. The GPI case is also very well built, and it feels like something you would, buy off a store shelf from Nintendo or a reputable company. Leaving aside that the Pocket doesn't actually exist is something I will need to leave behind for the rest of the comparison. Otherwise, I'd be done talking, and we can't have that. The Analogue Pocket is currently spec'd out with a 3.5-inch screen with a resolution that is just insane for its size. It's 1600 by 1440, where the GPI case is only 2 inches with a resolution of 320 by 240. With that said, I have the GPI case and I can say the screen looks great and I'm very happy with it. Everything I ever play on it looks good. It's actually larger than the original Game Boy, and its size, even though it looks just like a original Game Boy, is a little smaller, which is kind of nice. It is really nice. The only odd part is maybe the left and right bumper buttons on the back, but the Pocket is actually the same way. The Pocket has another great feature of the GPI case, and that's the battery. The GPI case takes AA batteries, whereas the Pocket has rechargeable lithium. I really like the idea of having the rechargeable lithium. If you've seen one of my older videos about the USB rechargeable AA lithium batteries, that was actually kind of hard to say, then you know this is something that can be worked around. In fact, by using the AA lithiums, this gives you the ability to swap batteries out at any point, and in a real pinch, throw in some regular alkaline batteries. So in a way, the GPI case could have the upper hand in this situation, just for the fact that you really could always be set with batteries or charging some batteries while they're going. If you're not familiar with the video I have with the batteries, they are basically there's AA batteries where you pull the top off and they plug into any USB device and they charge up. I really suggest you go watch that video. But speaking of cost, that is another area that I personally am on the side of the GPI case. The Pocket is going to be listed at $199.99, while the GPI case is listed at $95.99, at least at the time of this recording. If you already have the Pi Zero and an SD card of adequate size, I'm going to use 32 gigabytes for an example because the $95.99 price was with a 32 gigabyte card. You can pick up the GPI case for $69.99. With the huge price difference, you would think the GPI case is a no-brainer, but anyone who's watching this not familiar with the Raspberry Pi Mini PC world needs to keep listening. The Pocket with its $200 price tag is a bit of a hard pill to swallow, but out of the box it's supposed to be able to play Game Boy, Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance games without any special adapters. Just plug and play. You put the cartridge and it plays, just like an original system. To play Game Gear, Neo Geo Pocket Color, and Atari Lynx cartridges, you'll need to buy a separate adapter, which at this time there are no prices listed or when the availability will be. But that does make that pill feel like you're taking it without any water because they're not going to give those away. The upside is you're using completely legal cartridges and don't have to mess with any kind of software setting to get the things to work. If you do buy the $96 setup for the GPI case and you get yourself a bunch of AA batteries, you can play everything mentioned above without any additional hardware, but you need to put it together. Install software and configure its visual interface along with button mappings. Now, some of that's not difficult, but I just put it out there because it could be for others. It just depends on your level set, I guess, and where you're comfortable. I love cartridges. There is something about my childhood that makes me want to own them all. Not to mention if you put them in the cassette case and print labels, they look great. And yes, I have a video on that also. But at the end of the day, I don't want to carry a lot of cartridges around, and I like having them in my house to play on the original hardware that I don't travel with. A 32 gigabyte SD card is way more space than I even need for my cartridges I have converted to ROMs. Also with the GPI case, using ROMs over cartridges, I can have all my NES, Sega Master System and Genesis, Atari, and other systems on this system. I didn't mention the SNES because I don't have the largest collection, and the ones I do have, the Pi Zero doesn't do the best emulation on. Now, it might sound like I feel the GPI case is going to be the clear winner, but I have to throw a couple more positives towards the Pocket. First, the Pocket is supposed to be getting a dock that will allow you to hook up your Pocket to the TV with HDMI. I can already do this with Game Gear, Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance using my Retron 5, but the other positive for the Pocket is that it does not use emulation, and that is awesome. And even another positive is that this would allow for Neo Geo Pocket Color and Atari Lynx to be able to be played on the TV. Of course, we are looking at another price tag for the dock, and they have not released one as of this video, but if you're going to do it, you might as well do it all. Good news is you'll be too broke to go out, and that'll give you time to play all the games on your new system. One thing that it doesn't talk about that I think would actually be pretty cool is if there was some way you could pop the cartridge in and do two controllers as if you were doing a link cable. I don't know if that would maybe do a split screen. Well, I guess maybe if you had two docks and you had two TVs, but if there's some way that they could connect together where you could have one TV, do the link cable setup, and then do a split screen, I suppose. Tennis. I always loved tennis on the original NES. I don't know what it is with tennis games, but they're actually kind of fun. Like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I would love to have both these systems. I already have the GPI case, and it's a great system, but I am very comfortable with setting one up also. So for me, that's why it's a great system. And I can tweak it at any time because I am comfortable with setting it up, even though I'm pretty happy where it's at right now. My dream Pocket setup would be the Pocket with the dock and the Game Gear adapter using my RetroFlag 6-button Sega Genesis USB controller. Yeah, it's more buttons than needed, but I like the retro feel of the controller. And yes, I have a video for that also. You really should subscribe and like my videos. I wouldn't have to tell you about all the other wonderful videos while making videos. But this video is an opinion video, so I should give my opinion on where I'm currently standing. And that's in favor of the RetroFlag GPI case. Even if I didn't own it already, I would be leaning this way. The overall cost for the Analogue Pocket is crazy. With that said, I really would like the Pocket also, but I want to see the accessories in the market first. And being that this is something that's going to be in limited supply, I'm worried that I don't want to buy something and then the features I want for it never get made for some reason. Not that Analogue has a history of that, but it is a concern. And if I end up waiting for that, there's a good chance I'll never get my hands on it. And I'm not going to pay an inflated price for a system that I guess is considered rare or hard to get a hold of. I do feel the Pocket itself is a great product without the adapters in the dock. I can't justify $200 for a portable Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance system, though. If I really want a system that I can just grab one of my Game Boy Advance SP systems. Otherwise, I hope you liked my video. Feel free to share it and give it a like and hit that subscribe button. Otherwise, have a good one, and thanks.